Welcome to another Fantasy Goodfellas video where we're going to talk about the top 10 wide receiver rankings for week 7. You ready?
I'm ready.
Fantasy Goodfellas.
Boom, boom, boom. Rolling on the field.
Fantasy Goodfellas. All right, before we get started on this week's rankings, let's just review how we did overall last week.
Well, in week 6, we hit on 18 of our top 30 wide receivers.
Boom, boom, boom.
And then we hit on 10 of the top 14. So it was a good week.
Well, let's keep that going. For this week's top 10 wide receiver rankings for week 7, Richard, take it over.
Number 1, we have Cooper Kupp, who will be home against the lowly Lions.
Is this Cooper Kupp's first time being your top wide receiver?
Yes, it is. He leads the league in targets. He leads the league in TDs. He has Matt Stafford. Why not? And number 2, Devonta Adams, home against the Washington football team.
He had a subpar performance last week. He's going against Washington football team. Does he return to the top?
Devonta Adams leads the league in receiving yards, but only has 2 touchdowns. That number will rise. And number 3, Tyreek Hill at Tennessee.
Like Adams, Hill didn't play like a top guy.
Yeah, right. He wasn't top 5, but he was top 15, had a decent week. He's 3rd in the league in receiving yards, 3rd in the league, tied for 3rd in touchdown receptions. He's a solid guy with a great quarterback. And number 4, A.J. Brown, who will be home against Kansas City.
Last week, I questioned A.J. Brown being in your top 30, and you said as long as he's playing, he's good to go. What do you got to say about that?
Yeah, and we saw what he did Monday night. So he's looking healthy. Tannehill's looking for him, and they're going to have to connect a lot this week playing the Chiefs. And number 5, DeAndre Hopkins, home against Houston.
Well, DeAndre Hopkins did something that we wish he did a lot more of. He scored 2 TDs in the same game. What do you got to say about that?
Yeah, that's great for him. Now, we just hope he gets more targets, more yards, but he's scoring touchdowns, and that offense with Kyler Murray is dynamic. And number 6, Deebo Samuel, home against Indianapolis.
Wow, Deebo Samuel finally cracks your top 10.
Yeah, you know, he's among league leaders in receiving yards. He's scoring touchdowns. He's having a great season. This might be his breakthrough season. And number 7, Antonio Brown, home against Chicago.
I know you like Tampa Bay receivers, but is Antonio Brown now your new number 1 down in Tampa?
I think so. He seems to be making the big plays for Tampa. I mean, Godwin might be hurt. Mike Evans is hit or miss. Antonio Brown has been the most consistent receiver on that team. At 8, Jamar Chase at Baltimore.
The only question I have is, can Jamar Chase keep this up?
I think he can. He had another good yardage game. The issue is the Ravens defense. They look fantastic in week 6. Are they going to be able to hold Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase to a low total? Probably not. And number 9, Mike Evans, home against Chicago.
I would like to see more TDs from Mike Evans. Is this the week he can do it?
Yeah, you know, he's going to catch touchdowns. He had a bad week last week, but that Tampa Bay offense is too good. Brady's too good. Mike Evans, in a week where a lot of wide receivers are on buys, is a top 10 receiver. And number 10, DJ Moore at the New York Giants.
You called it earlier that Carolina was going to fall off the rails. Seems to be happening with Sam Darnold, but how does that play into DJ Moore?
DJ Moore is awesome, right? He put up big numbers with Teddy Bridgewater. He can do it the same way with Darnold. Regardless of Darnold's inconsistent play, that's why we have DJ Moore here.
Thanks for coming on here and sharing your top 10 wide receiver rankings for week 7.
It's my pleasure. Remember to like and subscribe and leave questions in the comment section.
Fantasy Goodfellas.
Boom, boom, boom. Rolling on the field.
Fantasy Goodfellas.